Wolves 1, Manchester United 4. This is your full-time match reaction from Molineux on this Monday night, where in the second half, based on the performance we show and based on what happened in the first half, we can safely say I think Manchester United deserve that win tonight. I think based on, obviously, the goal we conceded in the first half is obviously very, very poor, especially against Wolves, who are absolutely shit. I mean, I've never seen a Wolves side that bad in all my life. But I think based on what we saw in the second half, and obviously the goal we did concede in the first half was obviously poor from our perspective, I think we can safely say we deserve to win that game. Like, Wolves are that bad, unfortunately, and I think Wolves fans and supporters realise that relegation is going to happen. Obviously, Rob Edwards was brought in to try and stir the Wolves ship and try to get them out of relegation fight. And obviously, bringing Rob Edwards in as Wolves manager hasn't exactly worked from a Wolves perspective, as it Wolves are massively, massively bad, aren't they? Like, again, in the first half, I would say, obviously, it is disappointing the goal Manchester United did concede. And thank you for the follow, Liam Carroll. Very much appreciated, mate. Obviously, the goal we did concede is obviously poor from our perspective. Obviously, I'm disappointed with the goal we let in because it was, again, very, very preventable. Because, you know, we dominated the game. We created 27 chances on goal tonight. That scoreline could have been an absolute mountain for us based on the amount of opportunities we did have to bury Wolves. And obviously, I think the goal they scored obviously shocked our system because we did bat them in that first half. Wolves didn't exactly offer a very clinical attacking chances on our goal, really. And obviously, the goal they do score is, you know, poor from our perspective. I mean, we are 1-0 up. Again, the goal we score is very, very scrappy. I mean, Bruno Fernandes is very, very lucky that that ball has ended up in the back of the net. It is a very, very scrappy goal. And I'm glad it did end up in the back of the net. But obviously, I don't think Sam Johnston covers himself in any glory, to be honest with you. I don't think he gets much behind the ball to try and keep it out. So I think, again, it's down to poor goalkeeping, I would say, from a Wolves perspective. And obviously, if you look at the way Wolves did concede that goal, I think their midfielder, Andre, hangs onto the ball way too much. And obviously, one simple tackle from Casemiro, obviously, Andre didn't know. I think Casemiro was basically coming towards him. Obviously, one simple Casemiro tackle has absolutely undone Wolves, all their hard work they've done to keep Manchester United out so far, and one simple tackle from Casemiro has put Manchester United in. Obviously, when we had a 2-on-1 situation, I honestly thought we messed it up because the amount of chances obviously that attack had. When Kuhn had messed it up, I thought we're not going to concede this goal, we're not going to score. And then obviously, thank God for Bruno Fernandes with a very, very scrappy finish. We managed to get in front, which was a very, very important part of our game. Kuna deserved a goal today. Thought he should have taken the penalty. James Clayton said, when Wolves scored, I was like, oh, same old story. Yeah, it was. It could have been same old story if you think about it. I think we did deserve the win. I think we deserved the 3 points, but I think we've got to put some perspective on this result. We are playing Wolves, aren't we? I think everybody knew tonight we were probably going to win that game. Wolves aren't exactly covering themselves in any glory, are they, to be honest with you? I don't think Wolves were going to try and get any type of result tonight from their perspective. I think Wolves look like a beaten team. I think the realisation is Wolves are going to go down. They're going to get relegated. They're going to be playing championship football next season. I think their fans realise it. Their supporters realise it. I think Rob Edwards bringing in was a major, major disaster from a Wolves perspective because obviously he may have been doing a good job at Middlesbrough midway through this championship season. But if you look at what's Rob Edwards done since he was brought into Wolves, what's Rob Edwards actually done from a Wolves perspective? He's not exactly lit up a Christmas tree, is he? He's not exactly lit up any trees, is he? So I'm afraid from a Wolves perspective, that result was incoming as soon as the first goal went in from your perspective tonight. I think as soon as we got the lead, we got too comfortable. We probably sat back. But then again, if you look at the chance Mbeumo had, if you look at the chance Matthias Cunha had, if you look at the chance that Ahmad had, again, look at the one-on-one Diego Dalot had. That scoreline in the first half could have been a cricket score. It could have been a cricket score from a Wolves perspective. And I don't think Wolves fans and supporters would have been surprised if they would have been 2-3-0 down at half-time because we created the better opportunities and we didn't take them. It easily could have been 4-5-6-0 inside that first half. And I think if you would have put Brighton out there, if you would have put Brentford out there, they probably would have been 3 or 4-0 up by now at that point of the game. And I'm not trying to put disrespect on those clubs, but they probably would have been 3 or 4-0 up inside 20, 30 minutes because Wolves are just that wide open. Like, they've got no Premier League experienced players, to be honest with you. Their best midfielder's probably Andre, and their best attacker they've probably got is that Strand Larsen. But if you keep both of them quiet, they're not really going to cause you any problems. And I think Manchester United did that very well today. The first half, we couldn't keep the ball at all. Mr. Luke Everton said, are you going to do a Man United and Bournemouth watch-along next week? I don't really do watch-alongs. I just do match reactions and talk about what happened during the game and give my perspective and my thoughts and opinions on the result that we achieved. I don't really do watch-alongs, but it's something that I can consider in the future if you guys really, really want me to. But yeah, like, again, we deserve to be 1-0 up, even though it is a very, very scrappy goal. We do deserve to be in front. Again, I wish Kuna would have got on the score sheet. It would have been really, really nice for him to find a goal tonight against his former club. But I'm glad he wasn't selfish in that moment. Obviously, I thought we were going to mess it up because we couldn't really control the ball to feet. And obviously, Bruno Fernandes laying it off to Fernandes, it wasn't exactly the best of passes, was it? And then he had 2-3 Wolves players all over him. And then obviously, Sam Johnston hasn't covered himself in any glory. That probably should have been kept out from a Sam Johnston point of view. The goalkeeping is very, very bad. But again, if we look at how many Wolves players were inside their own penalty area, we still managed to put the ball in net. And fair play to Fernandes for getting that goal. Fair play to Fernandes for getting us that goal, getting us in the lead. We did deserve it. I mean, like I said, it could have been a cricket score. Wolves were that wide open tonight. It's very, very bad to see Wolves in the mess that they're in. And you can tell their fans aren't happy. You can tell their supporters aren't happy. There was massive chance against their owners tonight. I feel sorry from a Wolves perspective for their fans because obviously the mess they are in, they haven't really got any Premier League experienced players in their squad. And in the end, I think Wolves were there for the taking. And I think as soon as we got the first goal, I said, let's go for it. They're there for the taking. Let's go and put 3 or 4 past them. But unfortunately, I think as soon as we got the first goal, we took our foot off the pedal. And that was a little bit worrying for me. And Oscar has said, we played shit, to be honest, in my opinion. We looked sluggish. I think as soon as we got the first goal, I think the United players expected it to become a cricket score because we were creating so many chances on our goal. I think we probably got too cocky. We probably thought, you know what, we're going to score a second, we'll go and score a third, we'll go and score a fourth. Let's try and get this game done inside the first half. And obviously we did switch off for the equaliser. I think as soon as the Wolves goal went in, I did worry, I did panic because the goal we concede is very, very shocking. I mean, you've got Delo who gets too narrow against the Wolves player who puts the cross into our box. And obviously Ahmad, again, is ball watching at the back post. And unfortunately, that Wolves player is allowed to cut across back. So obviously, Bellegarde inside the Wolves penalty area. And you've got 7-8 United players inside our box. No one sees Bellegarde completely free of space and completely unmarked. And unfortunately, that was always going to end up as a goal because we don't know how to man mark. We don't know how to deal with cutback crosses inside our own box. And I did fear when they got the goal. I did fear when they got that goal because you never know what that's going to do for the Wolves players. Was it going to spur them on? Were they going to get a lucky result against us? You don't know how that Wolves goal was going to react from a player point of view. Amorim out still, but good result, says Tyrone. It's Wolves low. They are the worst team in the league, exactly. And as much love Bruno, he's awful at the centre midfield role. Amorim needs to leave from Manchester United, says Mr. Luke Everington. I think Manchester United, obviously, we have to be realistic here. We are playing Wolves, aren't we? We are playing Wolves. And I think that's the story of the night. We are playing bottom of the Premier League Wolves. They're probably going to break a Premier League record for the most fewest points in Premier League history. So it's not really a surprise Wolves are in the situation they're in. We're just 5th now. I think we are now in the top 6. I think we're now in the top 6 with this win tonight. So obviously this result has done us the world of good. I'm not going to get too carried away. I'm not going to start jumping up and down and stuff like that. We have to be realistic with this result tonight. We are playing Wolves. I think if any Manchester United fan went to that game, I think when we concede the goal, the nerves, the panic, the anxiety is going to be there because we shouldn't have conceded that goal. That's the only disappointing thing I have to say about this result is the goal that we do concede because I think we should have done a hell of a lot better to defend that situation. And I think Manchester United players realised that. And I think a few words probably would have been said inside that dressing room at halftime, because we dominated that game from start to finish. And the only chance Wolves had, they did take. But that was down to our poor defending, really, and us not really doing our job defensively. And Tommy Dickinson has just said, Jesus, Wolves are so bad, lol. Yeah, Wolves are bad. Wolves are horrifically bad. I've never seen a Wolves team like this, ever. Like, Nuno Espirito Santo should have never been sacked by Wolves. Wolves should have never sacked Nuno. And this is the mess Wolves are now in. They gave their new manager a contract extension at the start of the season. They ended up sacking him midway through a season because Wolves were shit. I mean, with Chelsea, we are on the same points as them. Yeah, we are on the same points as Chelsea, but Chelsea have got a better goal difference than us. Is the only thing about today's league table position. 4-1, come on, we played so well today. I think we've got to put some perspective on the. I think we've got to put the perspective on the result, though. We are playing bottom of the league Wolves. They've picked up 2 points from 15 games. I don't think any Manchester United fan or supporter went into that game worried. Obviously, from my perspective, I do worry quite a lot about this team because of our results we had against West Ham and Everton, and you never know what team Manchester United are going to come out with. And obviously, going by the starting 11, I thought Ruben Amorim only making one change to the squad was quite a big worry, because especially what happens on Monday against West Ham, I expected quite a few changes in that team, and obviously we only made one change, and that was Mason Mount for Joshua Zirkzee, which in some aspects did actually pay off. Not having Zirkzee in the team made us look a lot better. And again, I think we're better off without Zirkzee. I'm not Zirkzee's biggest fan, but I felt today from our perspective, having Mason Mount in that team was a lot better than having Joshua Zirkzee down the middle. And I'm pleased for Mason Mount, because obviously he did pick up a knock. He couldn't start against West Ham on Monday. But today, I think Mason Mount did an excellent job for once. Obviously, again, I'm not Mason Mount's biggest fan, as a lot of you people know. I'm not a Mason Mount fan, to be honest with you. I don't really rate the guy. But you have to be honest with yourselves that he did put in a really, really good performance today. And he did deserve his goal. So I'm not going to take anything away from Mason Mount. It was a very, very good goal. And again, a brilliant piece of magic from the assist from our Portuguese Magnifico, Bruno Fernandes. Obviously got us into a 3-1 situation, which was good for the team. Worst team in Premier League history, says Reagan. We're horrendous. Lucky we played Wolves today, says Tom. I completely agree with that. I like not playing Josh. We would have to use him next week if Sesko isn't ready. Should Man United keep Bruno? I think, obviously, again, we have to put perspective on the result. We are playing Wolves. Like, the amount of chances we created, it could have been a cricket score. Like, the amount of opportunities, we could have buried them inside that first half. It's the worst Wolves team in Premier League history. They're going to break a Premier League record for probably the lowest points tally ever. We've seen Derby, Sunderland, Southampton on very, very low Premier League points tally. But Wolves are probably going to break that this season, because obviously, from my perspective, I don't see where Wolves are going to pick points up from. I don't see how they're going to get results. And I personally do not think Wolves are going to be able to survive. I think we all know they're good as down. They're going to get relegated. They're going to be playing Championship football next season. And obviously, Wolves are going to lose quite a lot of their players. And they're probably going to lose a lot of their fans and supporters after tonight as well. And I think the Wolves fans realised, I don't think the Wolves fans are stupid. I think the realisation is they are shit. And they are going to be going down, and they will be playing Championship football, and you can't take it away from them. You'll have to admire their courage to turn up still and watch this Wolves team. You have to admire, they're still paying their money to watch Wolves play, and they're still standing by their team. I think that's the only positive Wolves can take tonight, is their fans did actually turn up. And I don't blame their fans for protesting. Obviously, you could see by the amount of empty seats at the start, 50 minutes in, Wolves hardly had any seats full. That is because they're protesting against their owners the way Wolves have just declined. Because Wolves have been in Europe. Wolves have got top 7 finishes sometimes in Premier League history. And all of a sudden, Wolves don't look like the team they were last season. And I think, again, that's down to selling Matthias Cunha. And obviously, Manchester United have taken full advantage of that situation. And obviously, I think Matthias Cunha did have a good game. He did have the most chances on goal to put into the Wolves net, which is a positive because it shows the type of player Wolves did have in their team last season. And Wolves are probably missing that Premier League quality, because if you look at the rest of that Wolves team, where's the Premier League experience? Where's the Premier League quality? They haven't exactly got a group of players that have got Premier League experience written all over their head. If you're being really honest, you look at that Wolves team now, you'd probably say Sam Johnston's probably their most experienced Premier League player. And from a Wolves perspective, they need a massive rebuild. Wolves are going to really struggle to get back to this division next season if they do get relegated. And I am saying a massive if from a Wolves perspective. You never know what can happen in Premier League history. We've seen teams escape the drop by being bottom at Christmas. We have seen it before. So you can never rule out a Wolves survival scrap. But I think they are. I think Wolves are going to go down. Wolves are going to get relegated. And I think, by their players tonight, there's a lack of confidence on the ball. Their players look frustrated. Their players can't really put the ball in the net. And again, look at the chance they scored. They did take it. Fair play to them. They did deserve their goal. And again, we defended poorly from the situation. Obviously, if you look at how many players we had in that penalty area, we had 7 to 8 Manchester United players in our own box, and we still couldn't keep out the Wolves goal. That's the only thing I would say about tonight's performance, is the goal we do concede, because we just switch off. And that is the massively frustrating thing, is that we just switch off when we're playing good football and we're dominating the game. We just switch off, and that's the frustration from my point of view, because that goal we concede is massively preventable. But I think in the end, based on the second half, we deserve to win, because I think obviously one simple through ball outside of the right foot, and yeah, that's fine. That's absolutely fine, mate. If you want to block that person, just do it, because it doesn't really bother me. So just block that person as well if you want to. Mash out to my moderators in the live chat as well. Massively appreciate your support tonight in the live chat. And again, like I said, if you look at the second Manchester United goal, one simple pass is completely unbroken the Wolves back four. One simple through ball through the backs and the gaps of the Wolves back four. Wolves might as well just not have come out in the second half and just said, we're just going to shut up shop, let United have the 3 points, because the Wolves players have got no confidence. There's no positivity in that Wolves team. I don't know how those Wolves players still do it. Again, they've probably given up. I'm a Manchester United fan. I think Wolves just gave up in the end. Again, I think as soon as we scored the second goal, one simple pass through their back four absolutely carved them wide open. I don't think Wolves expected Manchester United to come out at that second half as strong as what we did. And I'm surprised we came out as strong as we did, because we don't know the goal we concede. We don't know what it's going to do to us. Is it going to shatter our confidence? Are Wolves going to come out and try and get an unlikely result or a point or an unlikely win? We never know what the morale's going to be like as soon as we conceded the goal, because it is disappointing, because, we were massively the better team. I love watching you talk about Man United. It makes my day. I appreciate that. Like I said, you never know what the goal we concede is going to do to our morale. Is it going to knock us? Is it going to spur us on? And I think, like I said, I think a few words would have been said. Thank you for the follow, Logan. Very much appreciated, mate. Legend. Please smash that like button, everybody, as well. Would really appreciate it. Like I said, we don't know what the morale's going to be like as soon as we concede that goal. We don't know what the morale's going to be like. Is it going to shoot us in the foot? Is it going to shut us of any of our confidence on what we've done so far? Or is it going to spur us on? And I think conceding that goal spurred us on, because I think a lot of those Manchester United players probably would have looked at it. All we've got to do is create 2 or 3 good chances and we're through on goal. That's all we've got to do. It's just carve Wolves open like we did in the first half. What should we do about the Glazers? The Glazers need to go. Simple as that. All we had to do in that second half was get the second goal, and we got that quite early. And like I said, whoever played the pass through the Wolves back four to put Delo 1-on-1, I don't know who provided that pass. I can't exactly remember, but that one pass completely carved Wolves open. Thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. Please smash that like button. One simple pass completely undid that Wolves back four. One simple pass carved Wolves open. And it is disappointing from a Wolves perspective, because one pass like that has carved them open, and it is really, really shocking from a Wolves perspective. That second goal did happen quite quickly, but fair play to whoever the Man United player was to play that pass through to Delot one-on-one, and fair play for Delot for not being selfish. Fair play for Delot for not being selfish on the ball. You have to think about the team and not about yourself at that moment. And fair play giving Mbeumo the right pass at the right time. Because if Mbeumo goes too early, you're going to be offside and you're going to get flagged up. Or, VAR look at the goal that's been ruled out or the goal that doesn't stand. And fair play for obviously for Delot playing that pass. And fair play for Mbeumo for timing his run at the right place at the right time as well. Obviously, Bryan Mbeumo, we all know, hasn't exactly had a great few last games for Manchester United. But I think tonight you probably see the best of Bryan Mbeumo. And again, it is against Wolves, isn't it? We can't really complain too much. It is against Wolves. We were going to create chances. We were going to score goals. And I think, obviously, that goal hopefully will give Mbeumo back his confidence. And hopefully he'll be able to get a bit back on form, especially what we haven't seen against West Ham and Everton. And obviously, Palace, he wasn't that great either. So I'm kind of hoping Mbeumo's confidence is going to go up a little bit now with that goal tonight. And it shows that we are being a little bit more sensible with the ball. We're not just thinking about ourselves. We're thinking about the other players around in our team tonight to provide a better opportunity in front of goal. And obviously, Wolves can't do anything about the second goal either. Because obviously, their back four had been carved wide open. And obviously, whoever was tracking Mbeumo's run obviously didn't track that movement properly, because I don't think he sees Mbeumo beside him seeing that Delot pass go through one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And obviously Delot did the right thing, so well done for Delot for providing that assist for Mbeumo's goal. That gets us 2-1 up. Hopefully we can build momentum going into Bournemouth. I'm really, really hoping this ain't just going to be a one result blip and then we go back to playing shit again on Monday. I'm really, really hoping this result tonight will spur us on, because I don't want to be sat here next week saying we have gone miles backwards again. We need to be more consistent. We need to take these results and the positivity and the confidence that we get from these wins and take it into the next game. And sometimes we don't always do it. But again, look at the opposition we were playing. It is Wolves. Connor's absolutely right. It is Wolves at the end of the day. They are going to be the worst team in Premier League history for the lowest points tally ever. So Connor's absolutely right. Connor is right in the live chat, lad, it's Wolves. Exactly. It is Wolves at the end of the day. We can't really hype up this result. We are playing the worst team ever in Premier League history. We can't really gloat about this result. We were going to win this game, no matter if we conceded that goal or not, because Wolves, we just created too many chances for them to deal with. We played a team that hadn't scored in 5 games. Bournemouth are going to do us in. Daniel does make a good point. That is a very good point Daniel has made. Bournemouth are probably going to be a completely different level from this Wolves team. Still an away game. A lot of people assumed we might lose points following recent games, says Will. That's a very good point. Yes, it's Wolves, and yes, they are bad, but you still have to beat what's in front of you, says James. Exactly. You still have to beat what is in front of you. No matter what opposition, what team it is, you've got to take these games seriously. It's 3 points. It's 7 points from our last 12. Obviously, we are 5 points worse off. What could have been, if we beat Everton and West Ham? What could have been? We probably would have been sat on 12 points from 12 from our last 4. So we have to beat what's in front of us. Yes, it is Wolves. They are shit. They are going to go down. They're going to get relegated. But we still have to take these games seriously. We still got to take them. We can't be messing about here, dropping silly points. And I think as soon as Wolves equalised, the panic started to happen. You could tell by the fans, you could tell by the supporters, their encouragement and their belief went out the window as soon as Wolves scored. Because I don't think we expected Wolves to score tonight. I think we probably got too cocky. We probably got a little bit too arrogant for our own liking, thinking this is going to be a cricket score. And unfortunately, when you do switch off, we do concede goals. And it is a shame the goal we concede, because we don't mark the Wolves player in all that space, which is frustrating. And obviously we don't clear the cross out of our box. And obviously when you've got Delot and Ahmad both ball watching, what can you do in that moment to prevent it from happening? You can't really do a lot. And when you cut the ball back and you see Bellegarde in all that space, it's massively frustrating because you know that is going to end up as a goal. If we would have got that ball out of our area and we would have seen Bellegarde in all that space, that Wolves goal probably doesn't happen. That was Wolves' only decent shot on goal the whole of the game. One shot on target, it goes in. That's the story of Wolves' season. They don't really score goals, but when they play us, it always seems to end up in the net. So, again, I did worry when it went to 1-1, because if we would have dropped points tonight, I think Ruben Amorim would have been a goner by tomorrow morning. I think Ruben Amorim would have been sacked. Unfortunately, we are letting in too many goals, not had a clean sheet for a good while. And Alex MUFC, who's one of my moderators, is absolutely bang on. We are letting in too many goals. We're creating chances for the opposition to bury us. We've got to stop that. I think, again, what's not helping is obviously Bruno in the deep line midfield role with Casemiro again, which we do need to change. But I think from a perspective, when we went 2-1 up, we really went up a gear. We really did go up a gear. But again, it is Wolves. We have to keep saying this every time we talk about what's happened to the game. We are talking about Wolves here. Wolves are shit. So I think everything we are talking about, everybody will say it is just Wolves, which is absolutely correct. This is just Wolves we're talking about, everybody. Wolves were there for the taking all night long. It's only Wolves. I knew I'd catch you after last week. It is only Wolves. It is only Wolves. So at the end of the day, 3 points is 3 points, but look at the opposition we're facing. It is Wolves at the end of the day. We knew we were going to win this game. Obviously, when it goes back to 1-1, we never know what can happen. But I think we did well in the second half to react. We started the game a hell of a lot better. I think Wolves probably didn't expect Manchester United to come out that quickly at them. But we had to, because at the end of the day, we couldn't drop points. We needed to win this game. I think they should take away our 3 points. Why the fuck did we beat them, OMG? Can't believe we beat Wolves. It shouldn't count. Again, look at Wolves, though. They are a terrible, terrible side. They are a terrible, terrible side. No Premier League experienced players. A Championship manager coming in midway through a season. Wolves are on 2 points from 15 games. Going to hit the lowest point ever in Premier League history for the lowest points tally. Rob Edwards hasn't exactly lit up a load of Christmas trees, has he? And unfortunately, Wolves have been there for the taking no matter who they're facing. So Wolves are causing their own downfall. Wolves have been this mess ever since, Rob Edwards has been there. No matter if you get a new manager or not, there's been no new manager bounce. The money probably isn't there for Wolves to spend in January or next summer. But then again, they've got the Kuna money, so God knows where that's gone. And that is probably the one thing Wolves are frustrated with. Where's that Matthias Kuna money gone? That's the thing. Where's that Matthias Kuna money gone? Because you would have thought Wolves probably would have rebuilt the team. They probably would have rebuilt the team with that money. And obviously that money has gone walkies. And they can't rebuild their team. They've got no Premier League experienced player, probably except Sam Johnston. And he's letting in goal after goal, week after week. And I think the Wolves players just realise it. No matter how much effort or passion they put in, they are a beaten team. They are a beaten team. As soon as they conceded the first, I thought the floodgates were going to open from our perspective. I think the Mbeumo shot when we had 1-on-1, that should have gone in. Matthias Kuna, who had the rebound from the Sam Johnson save from Mbeumo shot, that should have gone in. And then obviously Ahmad had the chance to then put it in as well. We created so many opportunities, you would have thought it could have been 8, 9, 10 at least in that first half by Wolves being that open. But I think what killed Wolves in the end was probably the third goal. I think the third goal massively, massively killed Wolves in the end. It did kill him. Like, the third goal did kill him in the end. Again, look at the brilliance from Bruno Fernandes. He sees Mason Mount run and Bruno just plays one looped ball over their back four and we score. I mean, the goal from Mason Mount is nothing more than pure quality. And yes, we were shocking in the first half. I think that's absolutely bang on. We were shocking inside that first half, especially by the chances we took. We had, but we didn't take. It could have been a cricket score. It could have been a cricket score. inside that first half. Like, we had 27 shots on goal tonight. If all of them would have went in, that would have been crazy. Nothing seen like this before ever. But again, we are going to come back to the point, we are playing Wolves. What did everybody expect? What did we expect? Us to lose? Us to draw? Like, if we wouldn't have been Wolves tonight, this would have been a completely different match reaction what I had planned. As soon as that goal went in, I was fuming, because you think to yourself, hang on a minute, we've created all these chances and we've conceded this goal, which was preventable. The whole half we dominated except for the last 5 minutes, so we didn't play the best. Exactly. We did not play our best in that game today. We didn't play our best. The second half, miles better. Second half, miles better. I'm happy for Mount as well. I am happy for Mason Mount. Again, I'm not his biggest fan, but I'm happy with the goal that he contributed towards the result. Because him getting us 3-1 up was an important stage for us to get more cruise control. I've just said a few minutes ago, the third goal absolutely killed Wolves. It absolutely killed them. They couldn't do anything when they went 3-1 down. They couldn't do anything. What were they meant to do? They couldn't do anything. Wolves probably knew the game was up. I respect Cunha for not scoring on purpose, I think, as well. I mean, Matthias Cunha did have, like, the most opportunities out of every Manchester United player tonight to score goals. He had the most opportunities to score goals tonight. So, again, you're not always going to find the back of the net every single game, are you? You're not always going to find the back of the net every single match, every single game. It's about what other players can do. And yeah, he missed most of them or passed it. Exactly. You have to put some perspective. You're not always going to score a goal every week. But again, he did look very, very lively. I don't think people realise how good of a player he actually is that we've got. And I think you can see why. I think he probably didn't want to score. I think you can see why we've got the type of player we've got now. He was Wolves' best player by a bloody mile in that team. He was keeping up a Wolves side that were going to struggle. If he wasn't at Wolves last season, Wolves probably would have gone down. Wolves would have been relegated. And again, if you look at him not being in their team now, you have to realise how much of a good player he was in that Wolves team, in that system. He was their literally go-to guy, and now he's not there. Like, where was that replacement for him to bring Wolves on? It wasn't there, was it? It wasn't there, was it? Conceding to Wolves is so poor. Yeah, Cohen makes a good point. Conceding the goal to Wolves tonight is very poor. I completely agree. I think Conan, I hope I pronounced that right. I think he does make a very good point, and I'm going to pin his comment. Conceding the goal to Wolves is very, very poor. Just 1-for-1, and all you can say is negatives. Mason Mount, man of the match, says Josh Locke. Yeah, I'd probably give Mason Mount. I'm not being negative. We're talking about the game and talking about the good points and the bad points. We have to look at both sides of the story, what Manchester United were good at and what we weren't bad at. And we're actually talking to each other as a live chat about people's opinions and views. We are allowed to have a view. We are allowed to have opinion. I'm not being negative. It's called being realistic and having two sides of the story from a match reaction. Villa versus United is going to be a good game, I think. Yeah, Ban SDS has said that's, yeah, we've got Villa in after Bournemouth, I think. So next weekend we've got Villa away, which is going to be a good game. Real, someone can actually speak facts, respect you, bro. The first half was so poor. Please smash that like button, everybody. Please give me a follow on TikTok if you're watching. Wasn't even a bad goal to concede, just unlucky, says RJ. Yeah, I think RJ, again, that's a very good point he makes. It was an unlucky goal. But obviously we should have done better in that moment, because obviously we left that Wolves player in our box with a load of free space. And obviously when you've got Ahmad and Delo both ball watching, that didn't help. So yeah, it was an unlucky goal to concede, because the momentum and the optimism and the confidence we had probably went out the window as soon as they did score. So I would still say we deserved this win massively. We deserved this win massively. Like, we were miles better in that second half. And Ruben Amorim probably gave those players a rocket. I wouldn't have blamed Amorim at all if he went massively in on those players, because conceding that goal was a nightmare, because you think to yourself, this is going to end up like Everton. This is going to end up like West Ham. Obviously, we deserved it. We could have scored 7 goals. Evie says sports underscore clips. Yeah, exactly. Better team in the first half, better team in the second half. No, I said in the second half we were the better team, not the first half. I think I know what I said. I said we were the better team in the second half, But I think based as an overall performance, we deserve to win the game. The first half, we switched off for their goal. No, I didn't. Oh my God. We had a bad 50 minutes end of the first half. Other than that, we battered them. Exactly. Sports_clips has put some perspective on the result. We had a bad 15 minutes end of the first half. And other than that, we battered them. Exactly. Exactly. Like, I'm actually just being open and honest about how I feel about the result. I'm not cherry picking. It's called having an opinion and having a view on the game. We talk about both sides of the story, not just one massive agenda. I know we won, but does it really prove anything? Wolves are probably one of the worst Premier League teams in history of all time. Yeah, it's a very good point. Winners are deserved, yes, but if United play that against someone like City or Arsenal, United lose. Exactly. Exactly. If that was against better opposition, we would get absolutely hammered. We'd get destroyed. We'd get torn apart. If that was City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, if that was a Champions League club and we're in the Champions League, we'd probably get demolished. We would get demolished. We'd get annihilated. We'd get torn apart from start to finish. We wouldn't know what to do with ourselves. True Wolves are one of the worst Premier League teams I have seen us play in a very long time. Bruno in the midfield does my head in exactly. Having 27 shots on goal, why can't we do that every week, says Josh, is a very good point. Look, how can I be yapping? We're talking with a live chat about how we feel about the performance. And apparently I'm yapping. We're communicating with the live chat about opinions and views. Everybody has a different opinion. Everybody has a different view. I'm not yapping. It's called having an opinion and having a view. Like, well, you don't have to watch then. You don't have to watch this match reaction if you don't want to. It's a choice. Bruno was a chance creation machine today. He should have had another 2 or 3 assists. Exactly. I think Bruno Fernandes did have a good game. But what have Wolves got in their midfield? What have Wolves got in their midfield that's really going to cause us any problems? Man United had a field day in that second half. It was a field day. It was like men against boys. That was how bad that Wolves second half was. It was literally like watching a cat chase a mouse. It was that bad. You're heading towards the block button, unfortunately, if you keep carrying on. Nothing can only play what's in front of you, though. Exactly. Like, you don't have to watch the match reaction if you don't want to watch it. We're having an opinion. We're having a view. We're communicating with the live chat. We're not just listening to me. I'm getting everybody's comments in. Fuck me. What is it? Negative Monday? Jesus Christ. Bellegarde ran Wolves midfield till he came off. He looked like Pogba for a second. Yeah, Harrison makes a good point. You know, I think Bellegarde was probably Wolves' best player. He was Wolves' best player because he was running their midfield. Harrison's right. Harrison, your comment's going to get pinned, mate, because you are absolutely spot on. We didn't even play that well, says Dylan. Yeah, we didn't because we played Wolves. It was Wolves at the end. It was Wolves at the end of the day. What did everybody expect? Wolves to win, Wolves to get a draw. And thank you for the follow, Harrison, by the way, mate. Legend. We didn't even play that well, says Dylan. Yeah, we didn't. The first half, we weren't that great. But that was because based on the chances we had. And Dylan has just said Wolves are just absolutely awful. Dylan's absolutely nailed it on. Best on the pitch was Bruno Fernandes, says Ryan. Yeah, I would agree. I think Bruno Fernandes probably was our best player today. Because obviously he created most of the opportunities. And obviously he bagged 2 goals. One from the penalty spot and one really, really scruffy opening goal. So I think Bruno Fernandes has to be up there for player of the match. But I would also say Mason Mount as well. But again, I am going to come back to the perspective we're playing Wolves. Like, that's the main thing about this match reaction. We're playing Wolverhampton Wanderers. We're playing Wolves. What did everybody expect? I think Mazraoui's hell underrated. You're going to miss him at the AFCON. I don't think Mazraoui's just going to be the only one missed. We're going to miss Ahmad. We're going to miss Mbeumo. We are going to miss quite a few players. We are going to miss quite a few players when they go off to AFCON in January, which is going to be a big blow. But I don't know how we're going to cope. Are we going to be better with or without them? I'm probably going to go with the opposite and say we're going to be quite negative without them. Because how would you replace all 3 of them in your team without their chances and the goals they contribute? and their consistency and the performances they do put in on the pitch sometimes. But again, like, I would say Fort Heaven was quite settled. That game seemed composed as well. Yeah, I thought Heaven had a better game today. I thought Aiden Heaven had a better game than what he did against West Ham, because that was a rabbit in the headlights moment, wasn't it? So, going to lose my mind otherwise. Man U are going to fall off the table during AFCON, says Cohen. And Cohen makes a good point. We don't know how this AFCON is going to treat us when all these players are gone. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. Please smash that like button away. Please give me a follow on TikTok. Would really appreciate it. Aiden Heaven was phenomenal in my opinion. He was easily the best defender. Yeah, I think Aiden Heaven had a solid game. I don't think we can take anything away from Aiden Heaven. I thought he did have a solid game. He looked a lot more comfortable. But again, look at the team we're playing, everybody. Look at the team we're playing. Like, what were Wolves going to do? Mount was class. Exactly, Mount did have a very, very good game. Completely agree. Xavi Alonso might be moving to Liverpool. Yeah, I have heard that. We are playing Wolves. Like, I didn't expect us to concede the goal, of course. And obviously, I think soon as the fourth goal went in, that was pretty shut up shop from us, wasn't it, really? Again, I think the Wolves player is very, very unlucky to concede that penalty, by the way, because if that's a penalty in the second half, why didn't we get given one in the first half? That's a very good point that I think I would make. I'm not saying that was a negative, but if you're going to give the penalty in the second half, why aren't we giving the one in the first half a penalty as well? Which I think is a very, very valid point. If we're being awarded a penalty in the second, why was it not a penalty in the first? First half was bad as we've been. Second was better. Oh yeah, absolutely, completely agree. Second half we were a lot better. And I think Amrin probably gave those players a kick up the backside. Most likely. Can we agree Amrin's only mistake was not giving Lacey minutes? Yeah. I think Shea Lacey needs a loan move. I think Shea Lacey does need a loan move. I think that's the only thing I would say. Didn't watch the game, but was pure domination by United, or really shocking from Wolves. I think Shea, it was a tale of both sides, really. Obviously, we conceded a shit goal. Thank you for the follow, Joe. Very much appreciated, mate. If you guys could give me a follow on TikTok, that'd be appreciated, and smash that like button as well. It was a story of two halves, really. It was a story of both halves, really, to be honest with you. Wolves were that bad, and obviously Manchester United were just a lot more clinical. Wolves is just shocking, to be fair. 27 shots is crazy, though, from us. Exactly. Imagine we could do that every week. Are you Amram in? I think I was Amram out against Brentford, because obviously that was an embarrassment. I think I'm still very... I said I was Amram out against West Ham. I still don't think, hand on heart, I would still say I don't think this is going to work. I still don't think this is going to last, because we are very inconsistent with our results. So I would probably say I'm kind of like on the fence. I'm kind of like 50-50 of where I want to be with Amram. But I think, is this result going to spur us on against Bournemouth? Are Bournemouth going to give us the opportunities Wolves did today? Are Bournemouth going to be that wide open against us on Monday? Probably not, because Wolves are a lot better side. I don't know. I don't know with Amram. I'm still very, very... Because one week it can be fantastic, and the next result it can be really shit. So I'm not sure on Amram. Personally, hand on my heart, I'm probably still going to say I'm more Amram out than Amram in. Because I think against Everton we should have won. West Ham we should have won. We could have had 12 points from 12. We could have had 12 points from 12. And that's the annoying thing. Trust him, bro. Today he was going to... Trust him, bro. Today was good. Plus he's going to have to play youth because of AFCON. I think we're going to have to buy players in January, because Mbeumo, Ahmad, Mazraoui are going to be a massive miss. We can't afford to go the whole of January without those three. United are going to have to spend in January if they like it or lump it, and they're going to have to find the money. And if they have to take out the summer budget, then so be it. But then I would fully expect United then having to give Amram more money, because that team's going to need it. Because we've got Bournemouth Monday, Villa next Sunday, we've then got Newcastle on Boxing Day, and then I think we've got Wolves again. So if we could get 12 from 12, can't just keep chopping and changing managers. We've been doing that for 10 years. Exactly. Make a very good point, Gizmo. Make a very, very good point. You can't just keep changing the manager all the time. It's not just the manager, the players as well. United will fall to the bottom of the table during AFCON, says Cohen. I hope not. Like, I hope this result will do something. I hope this result will do something. Panic buying when it's not. True that 12 points were individual mistakes, like most people say when we win. Exactly. Obviously, United, there's still the good, the bad, and the ugly with our results. There's still the good, there's the bad, and there's the ugly moments in these games. But we deserve to win. We did deserve to win this game today. No one can take it away. That I think everybody probably was expecting a Manchester United win. I think every rival fan probably saw us getting a win today. I don't think no one's going to see United panic. Mixed opinions here. I feel Bruno should have let Kuna take the penalty. Yeah, valid point. Wolves are there for the whole season. Exactly. Wolves are on. Wolves have got 23 games to save their season now. But I think it's probably nailed on. Relegation is going to be happening. And if I think mathematically, if they don't start picking points up till February, I think by February they're going to be good as down. So that's going to be even an earlier relegation than ever before we've seen. So Wolves have caused their own downfall, but they're run by a complete muppet of an owner who doesn't give a shit. Or play Bruno at the number 10. That's a good point. I didn't think of that. When Ahmad, Mbeumo and Mazraoui all go off to AFCON, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Snooze XN has said we could move Bruno further forward into the 10 once Mbeumo and Ahmad have gone. That's a very good point, because Bruno is a number 10. That's a very good point. And I didn't think of that until you've just said it. We could get Bruno further forward in that team once Mbeumo's gone to AFCON as well as Ahmad. Then you would have Bruno and Kuna in the number 10 positions. Casemiro, Mainu. There might be a few opportunities for players in January once these players depart for the African Cup of Nations. There's a point that I did not think of until he's just said it now. That's a very, very valid comment. We get Bruno further forward once Ahmad and Mbeumo off to AFCON. We get Ahmad at right wing back still, because we won't have Mazraoui there. I love Mason Mount, says Adam. Yeah, Mason Mount had a fantastic game, Adam. Completely agree. Still terrible defensively, though, says AC. When do they head off for AFCON? I think they head off to AFCON after the 15th of December, I think. I think United suffer the most due to AFCON. Oh, yeah, we do. We do suffer the most, the African Cup of Nations. Yeah, completely agree. Please smash that like button, everybody. Please give me a follow on TikTok. Would really appreciate it if you're watching in the live chat. So, yeah, you could have second or third defence options, though. Yeah, exactly. So you could have... this could be United's team once these players go to the African Cup of Nations. You could have Lemens in goal. You could have a back three of De Ligt, Martinez, Yoro. You could have Ahmad at right wing back, Delo at left wing back. You could play Casemiro and Mainu in the midfield too. You could have Fernandes and Matthias Cunha in the number 10 positions, and then you could have Sesko down the middle. That, to me, doesn't sound that bad. Now, logically thinking about it, Wolves are further cut during AFCON. That's true. Wolves are going to lose a lot of players. They've got a lot of African players in their team. That's a very, very true comment that Joe's just made again. Joe's on the ball tonight. Absolutely brilliant. I'm glad we've got a community that are actually bringing in some clarification on who's going to do what and who's it going to affect the most. Thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. So yeah, it is going to cause a lot of problems in the long run. And Stinger's just said we're fucked regardless of the AFCON. Exactly, we are going to be fucked. You're absolutely right. We are going to be screwed. You're absolutely bang on. But yeah, I think, again, if you look at the fourth United goal, obviously I think the Wolves player is very unlucky that a penalty has been conceded. I did feel for Wolves in that moment. I mean, Wolves low. Yeah, that's what I knew what he meant. It's all good. I'm glad you've put it, because it's a good comment. Because you're giving clarification on Wolves' future as well. Pretty sure AFCON players have to leave by the 40th and we play 15th, but I know they're trying to fix it. Yeah, they are trying to sort something out. They're trying to keep them beyond that run, and then they can be gone to the African Cup of Nations. So I think they're going to be available for Wolves. And he said Wolves again. Fucking got Wolves on the mind. We've got Bournemouth next, and then I think we've got Villa. I think. What, Villa? Yes, they might be able to do Bournemouth, and that's going to be it. I think. but I'm not sure, not 100% sure on how it's going to work. But I don't know how screwed we're going to be. I've got no clue how screwed we're going to be once they all go. But we're going to have to probably going to have to carry on without them and just promote some of the players into senior team to make up numbers. Let's hope none of those three come back injured as well. Let's hope none of those three come back injured. But I think, again, what really rubbed salt into the Wolves' wounds tonight, pardon the pun, I think obviously the penalty given at the end, obviously, if that's a penalty in the second half, why didn't we have a Stonewall penalty in the first half for exactly the same type of handball challenge? And again, if you deliberately handball the ball in the box, should it not be a red card? Just saying, if you deliberately handball the ball in the box, should it not be a red card and the opposition go down to 10 players? Because that happened twice in the same game. And obviously, one yellow card in the other decision didn't even get looked at. So I think we could beat Bournemouth. Not sure about Villa or Newcastle. Yeah, we've got Villa and Newcastle and Wolves and Bournemouth. We've got some tricky fixtures coming up, but I think it was very, very important to get back to winning ways today. I think if this would have ended as a draw or a defeat, I think Amrin probably would have been cooked. I think Amrin would have been in a lot of trouble tonight if this result would have gone wrong. But thankfully, again, we're going to say it's just Wolves, isn't it? Like, what did everybody expect? We're playing Wolves. They are shit. So I don't think anyone's probably surprised by the result. I think everyone would have been shocked that Wolves actually scored a goal, because Wolves' problem all season is finding the back of the net. So I think everybody would have been shocked that Wolves actually got a goal against us, and that they probably expected Manchester United to rub 8-9 goals in. And it could have been. It could have been. We won and people still moaning, just enjoy the win, says Daniel. Oh yeah, exactly. We're enjoying the win. We're enjoying the result. And I'm happy we've got the win. We're up to 6th. So that's a positive. We are now in the top 6, everybody. We're level with Chelsea. We played so sloppy after scoring the first. Yeah. We did step off massively after the first goal. As soon as we scored, we massively stepped off. I don't know why we did that, but maybe it was just the arrogance. Maybe we just got too cocky and thought, you know what, this is going to be a cricket score. And that's where the focus went. We should be top 3 or 4, just drop stupid points, says Daniel. Oh yeah, exactly. We have dropped stupid points. Completely agree. Daniel's right. We have dropped stupid points. Completely agree with it. Nice that there are differences been boosted a little. We keep doing it each game. It's a habit we have, says CR. Exactly. But I think, like I say, based on the second half, we deserve the win. We deserve the 3 points. We deserve the result. But again, I think the big talking point, I'm probably going to, upload this to my YouTube channel, The Match Reaction. My YouTube channel link is in my TikTok bio description. So this match reaction will get uploaded to YouTube after it's finished and downloaded. So please go and check out my YouTube channel. And please give me a sub on there if you want. Would really appreciate it. But please smash that like button on TikTok. Please give me a follow. Would really appreciate it. I think the second goal was really far offside, says Oakley. They did get look. We did see the replays. I think Mbeumo's timed his run perfectly, and obviously Diego Dalot has timed the pass as well. Why did Dalot play a half decent game today, though? It's what I want to know exactly. But again, CR, I think the big talking point, it is only Wolves. I think that's what we can say about this match reaction. It is only Wolves, and I think we're probably going to leave on that. Player of the match, I think everybody can agree, it has to go to Mason Mount. And I would probably say Bruno as well. I would probably give Mount and Bruno a player of the match duo award, because I think without them today we probably don't get those 2 goals. Mount doesn't get his goal. So I'm probably going to give it to Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount. So I think everybody can agree that Mount probably deserves it just a bit more than Fernandes. So, and 4-1, come on, says United Forever, exactly. So we've beat Wolves 4-1 at Molineux. Wolves are going to go down. They are going to get relegated. This has been your full-time match reaction. We got Bournemouth on Monday night now at Old Trafford, which I think, if I'm right, is it 8 o'clock kickoff Monday or 8:15? I'm not 100% sure kickoff time on Monday, but we now move on to Bournemouth on Monday night at Old Trafford. Hopefully we can take the positivity, the confidence. We've got this. It's 8:15, so thank you for the clarification in the live chat. So we kick off 15 minutes later on Monday night, which is a little bit annoying. It's 8 p.m, so is it 8 p.m? I'm just going to check it, just from my own point of view. I am just going to check it. So, yeah, it's 8 o'clock kickoff on Monday. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock on Monday. So we play Bournemouth on Monday at Old Trafford. 8 o'clock kickoff. Come on, United. Exactly. Please smash that like button. Please give me a follow on TikTok. We are going to leave it there. This has been your full-time match reaction from Molineux on this Monday night. Manchester United have won 4-1. We got Bournemouth at home at Old Trafford on Monday evening. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. And yeah, hopefully we can take the confidence, the positivity we've got from this result, and we take that on Monday. Hopefully we can get 6 points from 6 in these next 2. But I expect Bournemouth to be a lot more of a challenge than what Wolves were. And again, I think that's going to be the story of the match reaction tonight. It is only Wolves. It is only Wolves. And I think that is why we leave that bombshell there. It was only Wolves. So, Mason Mount, player of the match. It is only Wolves. Wolves 1, Manchester United 4. Enjoy the rest of your week, everybody. Stay safe. Be nice. Be kind to each other. We'll see you on the match reaction for Monday night. And we'll be back with some more live gaming content tomorrow afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. You're all legends. You're all legendary. See you all on the next one.